Hello, this is Jordan, and this video is being recorded on the evening of Monday, August 24th, 2020. Thank you for joining me today. And in this video, I'm going to discuss what I think are, with respect to precious metals, what some of the most important charts are for 2021. Now, just to set the stage for the most important charts, I want to give some context. Now, this is a big picture with respect to the mining stocks, where we are. We have here GDX at the top, GDXJ in the middle, that's juniors, and then at the bottom we have the Explorers ETF, GOEX. And so in recent months, miners broke out past 7-year resistance. I mean, it's a huge breakout, a point of recognition of a bull market of sorts. Everybody knows they're in a bull market now. Precious metals are in a bull market, and there's still plenty of upside left where we are now, considering the measured upside targets. Now, GDX got it's furthest along, and its measured upside target is around 50. I think it got up to 45, 46. So it's much closer to its measured upside target than the juniors and the explorers. But look, we're in a correction now. I think it's going to continue. We're going to see more downside in the short term. Not a lot of downside, but more downside. But from the coming low, that's still going to set up significant upside, particularly in the juniors and the explorers. I mean, I'll just mention GDXJ. It's at 57 right now. If that corrects down to around 51, it has a measured upside target of around 83. I mean, that's still very, very significant upside. So even though GDX is further ahead than the others, playing the breakout, there's still a lot of upside, particularly after the correction runs its course, the correction that we're in. Now, I think the most important charts for 2021 are a series of ratio charts. You could pick any of these. And so here at the top, we have GDX against gold. In the middle, we have GDX against the S&P 500. And at the bottom, we have gold against the S&P 500. Now, all of these ratios recently basically came up to or reached 7-year resistance. So the breakouts here, they already happened. But in relative terms or real terms, these breakouts have not happened yet. So that means when we see these breakouts take place, which I think is more likely than not to happen sometime in 2021, that's going to be extremely significant for the precious metals sector in the bull market. If we look at the S&P 500 at the bottom, I mean, this is something I've discussed in past videos, but from that breakout, there is a measured upside target of close to 1, where gold could be trading at the same level as the S&P 500. Now, nominally speaking, gold has a measured upside target close to 2,800. And I think it has a strong Fibonacci target around 2,900. So these things are lining up for gold to have a significant move higher. And look, gold breaking out against the stock market, breaking that 7-year resistance, that'll probably coincide with gold at sometime in the early stages of its next move higher. So this isn't imminent by any stretch. Now at the middle, I mean, this is something I talked about earlier this year. GDX against the S&P, that broke out in the last couple of months. I think it made like a new 3-year high. That was a significant breakout. But this is the real big breakout when it can take out the 7-year resistance. I mean, then what you're going to see is a obvious and significant move in capital away from the general stock market and into gold stocks. So the real big move hasn't happened yet. And then one at the top, which I think most people, or I should say people might be most interested in, is the gold stocks against gold. I mean, we know that the gold stocks, the miners, that they've badly underperformed the metals, especially the gold stocks against gold. And I mean, if I go back to the last one, GDX against the S&P 500, that made basically in 2015, 2019, that was a significant double bottom of sorts. I mean, based on the historical indexes that I have, I mean, that was like potentially a 90-year low, maybe even more than that. With respect to GDX against gold, I'd have to go back that far, but it could be very similar. I mean, the low that was made in 2015, perhaps I'm just guessing that probably was a 90-year low. So, I mean, gold stocks relative to anything in the last couple of years have been the cheapest they've ever been in history. But back to the I know I got off track, but back to the main point here. Gold stocks have really underperformed gold. They've obviously started to change that, especially since the COVID low. And look, they're pulling back right now from a very significant pivot point, which goes back to the low in 2008. And again, when we see that breakout, that's going to be massive for the sector. You're going to see, and this is going to happen when gold is making its next move higher. It's trending towards that measured upside target around 2,700, 2,800. And imagine that upside, yet at the same time, you have GDX has broken out against gold. And so the gold stocks are outperforming gold, even as gold makes that huge move higher. So, I mean, essentially what we've seen since the COVID low in March, I think that's a preview for an even larger move that's coming. When is that going to start? Who knows? I mean, might start in the next couple months. It might be 5 months, 4 months. I mean, we obviously have to finish this correction. Precious metals will make a low at some point in the next couple weeks. Then they'll probably chop around for a couple months because that's how they tend to correct in a bull market. But, I mean, look, after that, it's or not even after that. I mean, in the next couple weeks, that could be it should be the first of a few buying opportunities before we see this next really big move, this really big leg higher get underway. So this is, I put 2021 in the title because I think the breakouts in these ratios will happen in 2021, and it's going to tell the story of an even bigger move that's coming in the precious metals complex. So it's good to know what potentially lies ahead, and hopefully we all can position for that at an ideal time. And if you're looking for some help, some guidance, some analysis, I do have a premium service. You can subscribe at thedailygold.com/premium. It's only $149 for 6 months. The service is basically a focus on market timing and then stock selection and fundamentals, picking the best companies. If you want to know which juniors really are real and building real companies, which really have the best assets, sign up for our service. We can help you out there. It's highly affordable. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to publishing another video or an audio commentary for you guys in the days to come.